Hi, I'm Joe Connolly here at the WCBS News Radio studios with Denine Shedrick, the BNB Bank branch manager at Great Neck. Denine, I understand that you are more likely to go out to a business owner's office than the business owner is to come in to you?
Absolutely.
Why? Do you go out and drive around and go to small businesses?
Sometimes I do, but it's more so that I can get a better feel for their business. So going into their location and their environment, it gives me a better understanding of how they operate.
Do you like to go to all these different businesses?
I love it. That's my favorite part, is learning the different businesses and what they do. Absolutely.
To be out of the office, it really makes everything real, right?
Absolutely.
To get out to the businesses. What are one or two of the businesses, you can name them or not, that you found interesting that you've been to recently that come to mind?
A recent visit was actually an existing client, and it's so interesting to me. They're a steel manufacturer that we've had for a little bit of time now, but just walking around the factory and seeing, what they produce, all of the different pieces, where they are, and they actually build some of the light poles that we see on Long Island. So driving around and noticing that and knowing that that's a customer of BNB Bank, it's rewarding because you actually see the work that they do.
And you see how much detail goes into it and what is involved in it,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and the passion that they have for their business. And as you could see just how proud a lot of the owners, as they're giving you a tour of their business, you could see how proud they are of their business. They love showing it off. So that is one of the best things that I love about being a branch manager.
So then, what do most of them apply for a loan to do?
Well, it depends on the industry, but typically it's usually just for cash flow so that they can manage the day-to-day of the business.
Do you see any expansion going on?
Absolutely. So we have a lot of our clientele are small businesses. So they typically come to us when they're looking to expand, whether it's a restaurant that's looking to expand into new territory and get new locations, or a carpet cleaner that's looking for an expansion on their
Fleet?
vehicles,
Vehicles,
their
yeah.
fleet, yeah, absolutely, or just equipment that they need.
So how does it work? If somebody wants to get a business loan from BNB Bank, where do they start? What do they do? Assuming that you have not already visited them, but they don't know anybody. What do they call or come in and do or say what?
So typically there's an inquiry just about the products and services and what type of lending BNB Bank offers. So once I determine what it is that they're looking for and what product best suits their needs, I will call a lender. And the lender will typically make an appointment to meet with them. We'll all gather together, and they'll just go over a little bit more of the business and how each product will help them expand their business and which product is the best for them.
Now, what would be the different products? I mean, we all know of loans, but tell us, kind of list some of the products.
Okay. So we have commercial real estate products for property managers, developers. We have small business lines of credits, which we call our business advantage lines of credits, which is typically a smaller business would use for cash flow or an expansion. We also offer small business products as far as the small business loans. We're an SBA preferred lender on Long Island. And we also offer equipment financing.
So there are four different main types of small business
Correct.
Loans.
And there's a few others that we also offer, like letters of credits, there's term loans. So there's several different options.
And do new customers come in asking for a loan, or is most of the demand from existing customers?
I would say 50-50, because you have new clientele that come to you specifically looking for lending, and then you also have existing clientele that are ready to expand or that need the cash flow. So it's a mix of both.
What is it that business owners who have no relationship with BNB say made them come in that day? What are some of the reasons they give?
Well, typically they come in because they're looking for a new relationship. They're usually frustrated with the services that they're being offered at their existing bank. So they look to BNB because in our while we're looking for prospects, one of our main goals is to express the relationship banking aspect of BNB Bank. When you bank with BNB, you're not just getting a new bank and a new checking account or savings account or a loan. You're also getting a relationship manager. So you have one dedicated person who's dedicated to your business. They fully understand what your needs are, and they're there to help assist you in any way that you need. So a lot of businesses, when they're changing, they look for that relationship because it's something that they're lacking at their current bank.
So your first discussion with a lot of clients is hearing a tale of woe.
Sometimes. Not always. Not always. Sometimes they leave because I've knocked on their door, right, and they've heard something from me that they have never heard from their bank, or maybe they don't even know their relationship manager or have one. They're used to, building a relationship with one person, and a few months later another rep will come in, so there's a little bit of turnover, so they might be frustrated there. So it just depends. There's several different reasons.
Right, because if the person you know at a bank leaves, it's like starting out with a new doctor or a new accountant, and you got to go back to square one and say, yeah, that really is very time consuming.
Absolutely. It's very frustrating for a lot of businesses because you develop a relationship, you build a trust with someone who's managing your accounts, and you expect them to be there for you to meet whatever needs they have. So to have the relationship manager change every 3 to 6 months or even a year, it's very difficult because you can't build the relationship that you need. You don't have someone who's there looking out for your best interest at all times when it comes to your banking relationship.
Do some people come in, and I could see myself doing this if I were a business owner, and say, I'm looking for a local bank?
Yes. That is a huge factor with a lot of companies when they're deciding where to bank. I've had one prospect recently who asked me what it is that we do for the community, because a big thing to them was how we're involved with the community as well. Because there are several banks, located on each corner, but if you're in the community and you're not giving back, you're really not benefiting anyone except yourself. So to benefit the community is a plus. And that's what a lot of prospects and clients all look for, businesses in the area.
Did they become a client partly because of that, of
Some
your answer?
do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some do,
but
absolutely.
They ask that.
They do.
That's great.
It is a question that comes up more often than not. You wouldn't necessarily think so, but when you're looking for a smaller bank, it is a huge deal to be active in the community.
How long and how involved is it to get a loan? I mean, it's going to take me a month? Is it going to be like preparing my tax returns, a week, or what's involved?
It actually depends on the product, but typically you're just submitting a few documents that we request, financial information, and basically the sooner you have it to us, the faster we can approve your loan. So typically we have a decision within 7 business days. The closing can take anywhere from 2 weeks. To 4, I would say, but it's, again, based on how receptive you are and your responses to us when we request certain documentation or just information.
And tell me about one more interesting businesses you've been to recently, in addition to the light pole people.
Oh, wow. What was one interesting business that I've been to? So I have a carpet cleaner, and on a recent visit there, we were able to see they recently took out an equipment finance loan with us, and what they're doing is they're expanding on their fleet of vehicles. So it's a famous carpet company that everyone is familiar with, but the interesting thing to me is you see the vans all over as you drive around. You don't realize what's inside the vans. There's so much equipment in these little vans, and it's like exciting just to see what's in there. You have no idea the little hidden things that are around when you're driving.
And they have them because of you.
Because of BNB Bank, absolutely.
Got to be satisfying.
Absolutely.
I mean, you beam, you smile when you talk about this, and the person driving the van is there because of you.
I love seeing them as I drive home. Every single day, I see one of those vans, and it puts a smile on my face. I love it.